Hebrews, Hebrews, Hebrews. This is Israel Wake Up. It's our Women Advanced Bible Study night. Our topic is I'll be dealing with a few videos, and we'll play them, and then we'll discuss them. Some important topics. Okay, you can go to our YouTube channel to Israel Wake Up. Check out our videos on it. I think we have over 100 or so videos that you can look at. The videos are building up. Okay, this is a non-Messianic channel. We deal with the Tanakh and the Torah. Shalom and welcome to this channel, and welcome to our Women's Advanced Bible Study. Okay, I left out our hours of operation is every Thursday night, 7 to 9 Central Time, if you want to come in and participate. Okay, we're going to do our normal, which is a moment of silence, a prayer, Psalms. We have some women's health moment, our current events, some need to know information, and then we open it up for some Q&A. Then we go into our topic, and we'll close it out from there. Okay, this moment of silence is for the Lord of hosts and all that he's doing to bring about our prophesied deliverance in these last days. We pray, O Lord, for righteousness and uprightness that belongeth unto thee. Therefore we come before thee at this hour, seeking thy face, looking for righteousness and uprightness, that we may walk before thee as thy servants David and Solomon and Samuel and Hezekiah did. O Lord, allow thy face to shine upon thy people, and hear our plea. Hear and do, O Lord, and hide not thy face from us any longer, for we need you so very much at this hour. Peace be unto you. Okay, read the Psalms. Okay. Read Psalms 33. Okay. Okay, it says, praise to the Lord's creation. That's the psalm I'm reading. Okay. Rejoice in the Lord, O ye righteous, for praise is comely for the upright. Praise the Lord with a harp, him with pastry and an instrument of 10 strings. Sing unto him a new song. Play skillfully with a loud noise. For the word of the Lord is right, and all his works are done in truth. He loveth righteousness and judgment, and the earth is full of the goodness of the Lord. By the words of the Lord were the heavens made, and all the host of them by the breath of his mouth. He gathereth the waters of the sea together as a heap. He layeth up the deep in storehouses. Let all the earth fear the Lord, and let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him. For he spake, and it was done. He commanded, and it stood fast. The Lord bringeth the counsel of the heathen to naught. He maketh the devices of the people to none effect. Counsel of the Lord standeth forever, the thoughts of his heart to all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, and the people whom he hath chosen for his own inheritance. The Lord looketh from heaven, he beholdeth all sons of men, for the place of his habitation looketh upon all the inhabitants of the earth. He fashioneth their hearts alike. He considereth all their works. There is no king saved by the multitude of a host. A mighty man is not delivered by much strength. The horse is a vain thing for safety, neither shall he deliver any by his great strength. Excuse me. Behold, the eye of the Lord is upon them that fear him, upon them that hope in his mercy, to deliver their soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. Our soul waiteth for the Lord. He is our help and our shield. For our heart shall rejoice in him, because we have trusted in his holy name. Let thy mercy, O Lord, be upon us according to as we hope in thee. Okay, that was Psalms 33. Any comments on that? Okay, look at verse 7. It says, He gathered the waters of the sea together as a heap, and he layeth up the deep in storehouses. So when you understand who that is, you just go to Genesis chapter 1, right? And 1 and 2. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Then verse 2, the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God, the angel of God, moved upon the face of the waters. So that's him dealing with the waters. He's on the water. Okay, nobody have no comments.
Yes, sir. Shalom. When he speaks of on verse 8, let all the earth fear the Lord. Let all the inhabitants of the world stand in awe of him. The awe means fear also, or what does the
It's,
awe?
it's included. It's included in. It's all included. Is fear, um, amazement. All is included.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So we got our women's health moment.
Yes, sir. Shalom, everyone. Please note that the information that is shared is intended for general, informational, and educational purposes only and is not medical advice or recommended treatment. Tonight's discussion is on the amazing health benefits of herbs. Natural plant products have been used throughout human history for various purposes. The use of herbal medicine dates back thousands of years, and for much of history, herbal medicine was the only medicine. Today, plants treat all types of health concerns and conditions, including allergies, arthritis, migraines, fatigue, skin infections, burns, and gastrointestinal issues, proving that food is medicine. These herbs are less expensive and safer than conventional medications, which is why so many people are returning to this traditional ideal of medicine. Let's turn our spice rack, or if you have a green thumb, your windowsill to level up your homemade meals and support your health. Herbs and spices are not just flavor enhancers, they can transform your dishes from bland to delectable. They're also nutritional powerhouses that offer a range of health benefits, from boosting your immunity and aiding digestion to reducing inflammation and improving heart health. These flavorful ingredients are worth having in your fridge and pantry. Experimenting with different herb or spice combinations is a great way to reduce added sodium in the diet without sacrificing flavor. Fresh parsley, cilantro, chives, and other herbs contain good amounts of antioxidants and other nutritious compounds that will benefit your health while flavoring your dishes. Here are 7 herbs you should seed right now in their incredible flavor and health benefits. Basil. Eating basil leaves may help control cholesterol levels, blood pressure, and blood sugar, and strengthening your immune system. Oregano. Oregano has strong anti-cancer properties. Oregano is also rich in vitamin K, which is important for bone growth. Parsley. This leafy herb is one of the best sources of vitamin K. Rosemary. Rosemary contains good amounts of essential vitamins like A, C, and B6 and other antioxidants, plus minerals like iron and calcium. Thyme. Thyme has been used for its antifungal and antibacterial properties for hundreds of years. Sage. Sage is great for menopausal symptoms, blood sugar control, digestive health, and skin health. Last but not least, chives. Chives are a rich source of folate, which helps in the brain development of the fetus. Incorporating herbs into your daily routine offers a multitude of benefits that extend beyond culinary enhancement, from boosting your immune system and improving digestion to reducing stress and promoting overall well being. These natural powerhouses provide an amazing approach to health. The bottom line is the Lord has given beneficial herbs of the field, and if every family were educated and how to use these herbs in case of sickness, much suffering might be prevented and no doctor need to be called. I'll be reading Genesis chapter 1, verses 9 through 13, the third day. Verse 9. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. Verse 11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. 12. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. Tonight's discussion was on the amazing health benefits of herbs, and I read Genesis chapter 1, verses 9 through 13, the third day. Shalom, everyone.
Okay, well, I appreciate the information. Yeah, while you was reading it dawned on me. If you go, you was mentioned that every seed, which is every animal, every seed says it have. Every animal and every tree and plant has a seed within itself, right?
Yes, sir.
And so notice how that uh, the woman don't. The man had a seed. So
Right.
like I was saying before, Dexter another one of those major hoodwinkings that they done when they wrote that in Genesis, when the Lord was talking to uh, the serpent, he said between thy seed and her seed, and right there we see that he couldn't have been her seed. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. I do.
So that was a setup to go back to take you to JC. We said her seed,
Hmm.
but she don't have a seed. And then another example is they go to Mary. They got Jesus in Matthew, his lineage. They stuck him in David's lineage. Then they turn around and they stuck him. They used Mary. In the book of Luke, they put him in Mary lineage, but Mary
Hmm.
ain't got no seed.
Right.
So ain't that so? That's
Yes,
crazy.
sir.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought just it dawned on me when you were reading that. So everything that's on the planet has a seed within itself. Say it would reproduce itself. Okay. Is that something? So we'll go with our current events.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I decided to go live on this, and I'll try to be as brief as I possibly can. Right now, Hollywood is on fire. Thank you very much to Brother Hayadin for sharing this update. As we recently talked about the Palisades and other areas in California that are on fire, we wanted to bring this update to you as well. Something is definitely going on. The world is changing, and it's changing fast.
This AI trade finder will handpick you options trades every morning.
Mention is that as we've been looking at the reporting on this, something very strange is happening. One reporter noted how the way the fire is bouncing in certain areas is just kind of very strange, where one house is standing and doing well, untouched, and then next door, burnt to a crisp. Something is definitely going on. I'd like to say thank you to those of you who are joining us live. Let's go ahead and share the broadcast so that others can join in as well. Go ahead and share the broadcast so others can join in as well. I'm going to make mention of what Brother Hayadin said, which I think is very, very important to note as we are covering this story. Talking about Hollywood, of course. Hollywood is not the only area. There are other areas that are sparking up as well. And it sounds as if they don't know why and how it's jumping around various regions of California. We're going to get into the Hollywood thing in just a moment. Again, I want you all to go ahead and share the broadcast so that others can tap into the conversation as well. We are definitely living in some trying times. Definitely living in some trying times. The Most High is doing a major upset planet. Also looking at what's going on in Saudi Arabia. I'm telling you, we are living in those times where you better stay awake and better stay alert. More than anything, stay alert. Be not ignorant of Satan's devices, lest he gets an advantage over you. This is what we are instructed in Scripture. So don't ignore. That's what the base word of ignorant is: ignore. Be not ignorant of Satan's devices, lest he gets an advantage. It's easy for him to get an advantage over you if you are ignoring what he is up to. That is what that means. A lot of people believe that that's what they're supposed to do. Oh, just ignore the devil and he'll run from you. That's not what that means. It doesn't mean ignore the devil and he'll run from you. It means you better fight. Don't ignore. Resist the devil. Fight the devil, and he will flee from you. So in just a moment here, I'm going to just mention what Brother Hayadin said concerning this, in which I totally agree with the brother on this. If you could just give me one moment here. I have something that I'm looking for, and I just want to grab a hold of that before moving on to what the brother has stated. Okay. All right, so here we are, family, here we are. And once again, thank you all for joining us. A number of reports have been shared with me today. I will try to get to as many as I can, but it is so many things that are going on that we had better stay prayed up and keep our eyes on what the enemy is doing. Too many of us think that we're supposed to just ignore what's happening around us as if that will cause it to vanish, and that is not what happens. So, Brother Hayadin, this is what he stated, and I thought was very, very on time, concerning Hollywood and all these other regions that are on fire right now. He says, well, it looks like the end of Esau's pornographic smut film industry, because Hollywood Hills is where all of the smut films come from. So that is very telling. Thank you very much for sharing this, Brother Hayadin, because
Hey guys,
Okay.
Toby Mathis here, and question I get all the time is, how do I make my
areas that were hit very bad. Um, I actually saw where there was a black brother sitting on a porch, and I've shared this with you all before, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about it. This is just to point out how intentional and targeted the Most High's judgment is when it touches down. But this brother was sitting on his porch in a house that looked very meager. It was a wood frame house. It wasn't well put together. You can tell that it needed a lot of repairs. Wood frame, just very small house. He was sitting there completely relaxed and chill. But all around him, just next door to him, huge, massive structures were completely destroyed. Completely destroyed by the tornadoes. And as I saw that brother sitting there as we were driving through, I said, wow, look at the Most High. I said, the Most High is so good. This brother couldn't afford such a loss. So the Most High spared him and his structure, but all around him, destruction. Again, wow.
Okay. Anybody heard anything about that? Got any comments on
Shalom. As far as the fires, saw on the internet that they were saying that there were several 3 days prior to the big fire. There were several little fires that were um, put, that they made happen. So they deliberately did fires. Like 3 days prior, they found like 6 or 7 areas that they tried to set on fire prior to the big one. So they,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Yeah, it looked
Shalom.
like you. Okay, go ahead.
Shalom. I was just going to say, we think back about what happened in Hawaii, right? So, the videos that I was watching was saying like it was happening in spots, like this house may be on fire burning and the next house is not, or the house across the street is not, right? So that was the same thing that we were seeing that was happening in Hawaii. And another thing that I noticed, if they're evacuating everyone from these areas, right, that is
Hmm.
consumed by fire, you see the news media right there in the midst of it doing
Okay.
reports. Like, to me, that sets off an alarm for me that what is happening is not as serious as they say it is. Because if you're evacuating people out, why are you leaving these people in there to do reports on this? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's not surprising that it's happening, because our Almighty God, He created good and evil, right? So what's coming to them is coming, and you hear a lot of people saying or making comments on social media or whatever, I can't believe this is happening in California, or pray for us, or something like that. They're just not looking at what's happening in the world. Times are changing.
Exactly. Yeah, we did a video on this last year when I don't know if anybody remember, but they had a video aerial view of I think it was it was California, I'm thinking, but they were showing how the houses burned all the way down to the ground, but the vegetation, the trees and all that was still up.
Right, yes.
Yeah, so that's crazy because there's only one answer for that. It's like they was torched, like some kind of aerial view. It was torched because the trees right next to the houses, they ain't burned. The house burned. And that's crazy.
And
Yeah.
that's what I was seeing in a lot of the videos that I was watching yesterday and today. That is what I was seeing. Like, just you look at it, a house may be burned, the yard or in the cars or whatever, and then the house next to it, nothing.
Right. Exactly.
And it just it
Mhm.
makes no sense to me.
Right. Like it was targeted, and then by some kind of beam or something. The way I don't think it do that. Yeah. So that's crazy. It's
Shalom.
like it's like go ahead.
I'm sorry. Yes, sir. As y'all, when you just mentioned that being, when she was speaking earlier about the, the title, the devil or demons, the spirits that still could not ascend, would we say that that's to look out for, not just to say the devil, the spirits. So I haven't gotten into reading all about the spirits, but they saying those spirits that a spirit of lust, a spirit of blindness, a spirit of death. I mean, being like could not will take your hearing away. The spirit of these spirits that's still here on this earth. Would that be something one? How could one get away from that by playing to the Most High and not knowing the spirit of whatever is provoking you or get on you? Because um, as we would known that the spirit came into um, one of the kings or one of the um, followers of the Most High and was able to speak. He used the body of the person to go forth and speak and talk with. others. So, how could one detect those spirits that's out there that is affecting lives? Um, Whoever's doing this burning, setting these fires and causing what's happening right now, or murders and stuff. When she mentioned the spirits, and to fight the devil, when she said to not just not think of it, saying, "Oh well," but she said you have to fight them. So that part, I want to know, do we? How would one detect that?
Well, first of all, we was lied to when in school. Like I said, those 18 missing years, we was lied to about how the brain and how the mind and all that is made up of. They say you gotta eat it, and then you got the cerebellum and all this stuff, and then the subconscious and all this stuff. But when you understand that how we was made as Israelites, as Adam's descendants, okay, if you sitting somewhere and you get a notion to go do something that ain't righteous, then that's a wicked spirit. And so the Bible talks about how that prayer and fasting, like I was saying before, and it said Moses, the Lord of hosts, loved Moses because he eschewed evil. So what do you mean by when he said he excused evil? He told you don't eat no pig, no pork. Well, if something come to your mind to eat pork, it ain't come from the Creator. Wicked ass spirit. So if you go along with that suggestion, then you open up a door for those spirits to come in and deal with you more and more. So that's what it means by a hedge. The more you excuse evil, the more you building up a wall, a hedge around yourself. But the more you give in to wickedness, your hedge is going down, and you're being more and more manipulated. And the thing about that is, there's so many people that don't even understand uh, what a wicked spirit is and where it came from, the origins of it. Because the powers that, like I said, they took away the book of Enoch and those books that tell you what the wicked spirits are. So they don't understand that. But like I said, it's about excusing evil. A prime example to me is, you got a house, right? And you got two sets of keys to your house. One of them you put under your flower pot right by the door, or right there by the front of the house, and the other one you keep on you. Well, you go tell somebody where the other one at, okay, and then you come out and find out later somebody broke in your house. Whose fault is it? So that's how that works.
It's
If you
your fault
say,
for telling somebody where your keys is at.
right, so if you getting these wicked ass suggestions and you adhering to them, well, once he come in your house, what you can't be, it's on you. But if you excuse the evil, you building up a hedge, and then eventually they got to do something else because you got a hedge around
Shalom.
you. Okay.
When when you come before you come into the truth, there's a lot of things that happen where it
Right.
would happen to you. Um, and as these wicked spirits come in, like you say, not knowing of pork, then learning of pork, but prior to that, now you've let the enemy in. Does it just come in one or several? And I'm saying after the fact, after you have done something unknowingly, the spirit stays in, or how does the spirit leave? Or what can, you know, I mean, because she spoke of the devil, which is just a title, but these
Right.
spirits, like, or fallen angels, and then as it was Jacob fighting, wrestling with an angel to tell its name. You know, so he wrestled with the angel. So would you be wrestling with these spirits, trying to get them to come out the mind, or however they end? You know, like you said, if you're known not to eat pork, and then all of a sudden something comes in your head to eat the pork, is that the spirit coming in and enticing your mind to say eat the pork, and
Right.
then
Seduction.
yes, sir. Okay, yeah. How would that be to because there's a lot of things that we do not know right now, and we're coming
Right.
into the and having all these people out here speaking on things that now we know that's not true. You know,
Right.
the New Testament is not. So here we are now, being once upon a time having that belief or having that knowledge of what the New Testament was in our lives, is that spirit. Because if you continue to praise something, it gives it more power or more, you know, leveling it up. Is that because you've done that not knowingly? Is that something that spirit is in you to keep your mind on such a thing back in your head to say,
Well, if you don't deal with it, so like I was saying, if you hear some noise outside your house and you look out there and you see somebody out there in the yard with a all black on with a mask over their face, what do you think they're trying to do?
break in your home or
So what you
someone
gonna do?
you?
What you gonna do?
Be prepared, call the police,
You're
or
gonna
be,
call the police or go outside and you're gonna run them off, right?
yes, sir. Or,
So you sitting there and the notion come to you to go down to the store, rob the store, or eat some pork or whatever. You know it's a wicked spirit. So like I was saying, having the knowledge of that, so you know it's something outside of you that's trying to seduce you. So what you gonna do? Cast it out. You have to talk to it. So it says that words. Can you when you speak words in this dimension? Words. Can you see words?
no, sorry, we cannot see words.
So can you see wicked spirits?
No, sir.
So your words is in the same dimension they in. So when you say get, then they gotta get because now you dress, you know that they there. Most people don't know they there, but because of the knowledge and understanding you have, you know they there. So you speak to them. Get and it says get so, and then they can't dwell where it's righteousness at. That's why I say sin is what allowed them in. So when you excuse evil, then they have to go. It's nothing else for them to hold on to. So you excuse you. It says through prayer and fasting. That's how you get rid of them.
Mm, yes, sir. So do we ask the Lord of hosts to reveal their name so we can say get whatever spirit that is? Or just,
When you say if you in your room in your bedroom by yourself and you say get, who you think who do you think they know you talking to? You can't be talking to nobody but them. You
yes,
cast
sir.
them out. You run them off. You speaking your words and your conversation is in that dimension where they at. It ain't in this dimension. So you rebuke them. That's all. You rebuke. That's what that is. And then, like I said before, you after a while through conversations, being in the right place, and when some you even get to the point where when they come in the room, you know something ain't right. The room changed, but with no knowledge, you won't understand that. But the more and more you understand those things, you realize that they're there. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Um, I I understand that because it's understandable because at certain times that if I'm around someone that gives me an eerie feeling, I
Exactly.
move away from that person and find out later that person is up to no good. Is a gossiper or something like that when I'm on the job.
Right.
Or just being around you will. Yes, we can feel it. Yes, but I was wondering if it was a way that, if it is such a thing, that we could say, other than, is it one or two? Get all you evil spirits, get away from me. If that's what one says, or spirit of.
Well, you just cast them out. An example of that is, from my knowledge, from what I've learned, is when you stretch forth. We see in the scriptures how the Lord of hosts keeps saying He's stretching forth His hands. We see how He got Moses doing it. All these, you see all these different prophets stretching forth their hands unto heaven. Well, when you go to the Hebrew language and you're dealing with the Lord of hosts, the Hebrew languages has symbols, and the symbol for the Lord of hosts is a man with his hands stretched out in the heaven. So when you do that, that's one of the things that they can't stay where holiness is at. So one of the things that I learned about that too was that, like, when they say enter into you, it's only it's holes. We got holes in our body, right? We got nostrils, ears, we got a uterus, penis. That's how they come in. So, I mean, I'm just tipping you off. So when you come to the knowledge of what you dealing with, you cast them off. You stretch forth your hands. Then you can actually, your ears are pop, nose, or you're pass air. That's them, but we ignorant to that. But have you ever tried to? Have you ever woke up sometime in the middle of the night and can't move? Have that ever
Yes,
happened to you?
sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
what that
And
is.
when I
That's all demonic activity. You know what I mean? That's when they come. Our eyes. You say our eyes. When we open, we looking at when we standing there, or we up at night and during the day, our eyes open. You know what I'm saying? So, but at night you sleep. That's when you're
Yeah.
vulnerable. That's when they come. We see how all the prophets, even with Balak, the angel entered into him and gave him the dream. They're doing the same thing. They enter into you. That's what I'm saying. But we've been brainwashed to think that that's a part of that's us. But it ain't. That's not. That's a outside entity that's coming in. And for the longest been handling you and dealing with you, but you ignorant to the fact of what's happening. But once you're aware of it and you start speaking to it and casting it out and dealing with it, then it's a different ball game.
Yes, sir. Because they would,
That's how that works.
back in the day, well, the older people would say it's a hank on you, or
Right.
it's riding you,
Right.
something you have done, or you have to, get it off of you.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Right.
My,
You had something, Michelle?
I was just gonna say, Brother Leonard, the more you study and apply yourself to the scriptures, and you know who your God is, and you start knowing the things that you were doing is not right now, and you starting to make all of those changes, they really try to turn it up a notch,
Right.
and
Right.
make you think that what you're studying is not right, the people
Right.
that you are around is not right.
Right. Right.
So when you
JT
feel
Will.
that, right, yes, yes sir. So when you feel that, or like you said, you feel out of place about something, you speak to it. Don't
Right.
be afraid to speak to it. Before I lay down and go to sleep, I just said, thank you, Lord. You know,
Right.
those things like that, it really makes a big difference. Learning about the Sabbath, when to keep it, that
Right.
makes a big difference. They don't even
Right.
want us doing that.
Right. So before you came into this knowledge, you imagine you had no defense.
No defense.
You
We was
told you
running
was
and
all the
doing
way thrown off.
everything right. We
And that's what
wasn't
he means
worried
by
about.
a path. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
path. That's a
Mm-hmm.
Sabbath. Keeping the Sabbath is a path.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, yes. And before, when we was running around doing whatever and in the church and worshiping JC, we didn't know how bound we were by those wicked spirits. Now we
Mm-hmm.
know. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and we got a prime that was big the other night. We got a prime example how they operate when we saw what Memphis was doing in Egypt.
Yes.
So once you start coming to the knowledge, like he said, they the ones show up. Back in the day, you didn't pay no attention to that, but once you come into the knowledge, you can see the change. You can pretty much tell when you're under attack. You gotta. But like I said, it's like anything else. I remember this thing for that this lady was getting raped, right? And she didn't report it because she didn't want to be she didn't want to deal with the shame of all that she had got raped. Now, so she didn't. So the dude came and raped her, and then she didn't report it. Hell, he came back and he kept coming back.
Mm.
So that's a prime example how demons is. If you don't know, even if when you find out, I've been in a situation now with the understanding I have now, and don't say nothing. Like I said, don't speak to it, or don't stretch your hands forth. They ain't going nowhere. They don't give a damn. You gotta speak to it. You don't say nothing. That's what David is telling us in the Psalms. And our forefathers in those other Levites are talking about uh says speak loud and spare not. You don't say nothing. You ain't, the words we made in his image. So we just read in the Psalms, he said that he spoke the creation. With his mouth he spoke. So you don't say nothing now. How you gonna create something if you never speak it? So if you sitting there don't say nothing, they gonna go on with what they've been doing. You gotta run them off. You gotta speak it. Stretch both your hands to the creator. See, but somebody else would think that you missing a couple of marbles, but I don't care. I don't really care. But you sit there and don't do nothing about it and see what happens. They're gonna continue on whatever they came to do. They're gonna continue on. You being well. My word is fingered at night when you sleep. Wicked ass, like I said, a wicked ass dream that ain't come from the creator. A bad dream, a nightmare that ain't come from the creator. We see that the angels bringing dreams to Joseph and all them righteous angels. You got a wicked ass dream that ain't come from the creator. You got to cast it off, rebuke it. That's how that works. But like I said, that's another level. Like I said, we've been brainwashed on that we don't know. The average person don't know nothing about that's happening. A good example of that is, like I said, I mentioned it before, was to watch Fallen. It's a uh, movie that Denzel was in. It's called Fallen. I'm gonna show you exactly how they work, and it ain't the same. These same spirit that hoodwink your cousin or your mama or your daddy, the same one dealing with you. It ain't some new spirit. It's the same spirit that was dealing with them. And then way back in slavery, when you follow your lineage, the same spirit was dealing with your lineage way back then. Ain't nobody new. Same spirit. Okay? The eternal beings. The Most High said that they came to sin to heaven. They're gonna stay here until the judgment. So when that giant died and that spirit came forth from that giant, it's still here. And he got a whole lot of time and experience from dealing with humans. But one thing he can't deal with is righteousness. When you excuse evil. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, that's how that goes. It's about paying attention. That's what we don't do. We don't pay no attention. You know what I mean? And like one more thing, you got a lot of sins that happen, but it's those sins that happen on the inside, like immoral sex, that happen on the inside of the body. You gotta. That's a big thing too. That's big. Okay. Yeah. Anybody else got anything else, or any comments on that, or whatever before we move on?
Shalom. I just want to say the movie Fallen, I saw that movie and it's a good
Right.
movie to watch to see how the spirits just go back and forth and it
Right.
changes a person and you can see the change if the person wasn't already invaded by one of the evil spirits. Shalom.
Right. And and the thing about that too was when you watching it, notice how he couldn't get into that police station because Denzel had got more start doing his research, and he got more wise to about what was going on, and so he went into that cat.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
The cat.
Mm-hmm.
Come on
Mm-hmm.
now, these dogs and cats and all that. Come on,
Mm-hmm.
like
Just like got into the serpent.
right, exactly. So you sitting there, or you on a certain mission. You didn't found out who the Lord of Hosts is, and you starting to study and all that, and then here comes some stray cat, me whining at your door. Come on, you got but we so ignorant to all that. All mosquitoes, or bugs, anything. It's he say Lucifer is the prince of the power of the air, but these are wicked ass spirits too. They deal with those things that is around you. Like I said, I don't know if anybody experienced that, but you get in the scriptures and go to zone out and zone out on something that the Most High showing you in the scriptures and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's wicked ass spirits. They don't want you to zone in on a certain topic. You get zeroed in on something. He's showing you something in the scriptures, illuminating you. Something's gonna happen every time. But you can't allow it. You can't allow that distraction to take you off. You go right back to whatever you was dealing with. You go right back to it. You learn to do that because the whole purpose is to get you off on doing something else to get out of that zone you in from the understanding that you get. Yeah. But like I said, that's another level. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. So
That's
everybody
just
good
what
on that?
I
What's
know.
that?
The shield. It says armor yourself with the whole your whole body. You know, the shield. The shield. You know.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah, but that was taken out of the that New Testament, or was it in one of the Psalms?
nah, that's in the New Testament. But I think that what you understand, get the understanding on that is in the book of Enoch. He tells you how he says that Enoch excused evil. He cast it off, and then you see what Daniel did. Daniel began to fast and pray. So it says that's the only way that you're gonna uh, cast off that is through prayer, fasting and praying. Because what happens is when you start fasting, you shut the body down, the five senses. That's how they operate. They operate through the five senses, or like we was dealing with a week or so ago, animal lust. So they come in through that. If you don't have no understanding on that, you just got this lustful spirit. That's how they gonna deal with you.
Right.
So when you cast it off, you cut that's a door you close. Or like I said, with you like pork chops, that's where they coming. Anything that they can get in, where they can get in at. But if you excusing evil and you keeping the Most High commandments and excuse evil, there's no way no way they come in. And then not only that, that's when they draw near. These angels draw closer, nearer to you. When you start excusing evil.
Yes, and then the evil will try to attack people close to you to get them
Right.
to do stuff
Exactly.
too. Oh my goodness. Yes, sir. Okay.
Right. And then you have to watch your character. Like I was saying, especially women, you got to watch your character because we just got a revelation that when he said that in Book of Enoch, he said those wicked spirits was born of woman. When when the fallen angel came and slept with the woman, it was born of the woman. So these wicked spirits attached to them. They got some kind of attachment to them. They're gonna. So you have to watch your character. You constantly observing your character. See what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
Gotta
that's
be
how it
sir.
works.
strong.
It's not. It's not about getting caught up in your emotions. When you understand how this thing work. The serpent came. The spirit that was in the serpent came in the garden to attack Eve. He couldn't deal with Adam. He came
Yes,
and
sir.
attacked Eve, and they still doing the same thing today. Yeah.
Come on,
So
Brother
yeah,
Leonard.
that's how that works. That's how it works. So yeah, you gotta pay attention to that because that's where we getting hoodwinked at. We getting brainwashed at. Well, we like I said, '01. We don't have no knowledge on that, those that. But it's been taken away from us because they took those books away that speak about it. You know what I'm saying? Enoch tells you about that. Jubilees tell you about it, but they don't. That's something they say that's been like it's like taboo. But yeah, when it's broken down though, you got to think about it. I was sitting there I was sitting in my house. I think I was like maybe 23, 24, and I was sitting there in the house, and something just came to me. You know, go rob the store, right? And then if you know my lineage or my the lineage I came from, we just don't do that type of stuff. So I'm saying, where the hell is this coming from? Where this came from? And so I remember that. And then when the creator started dealing with me and I started reading the scriptures, it hit. Like bingo, there it is. Because I knew it wasn't no part of me. And that's where a lot of the uh, mental health coming in with us as Israelites as today. We thinking that there's something wrong with you because you thinking this and you thinking that. No, that's wicked ass spirits. That is not part of you. Them wicked ass spirits that you have no idea how to deal with. And now you caught all up in some kind of mental thing that because you don't understand what's going on. And then from there, now they're gonna start giving you all that medication and you showing up though. And
Yes, sir.
that's why it's tabooed. It's tabooed to overdrink or to get high because you no longer like I was saying when you wake up, you awake, your eyes open, you controlling everything. But when you get intoxicated or you get high or whatever, them spirits come in because you're not on your game. The mind that he gave it's been altered. That's where they come in at. So that's how
Sure
that
enough.
works. All over. Yeah.
They can be sitting dormant in and wake up when you participate in things that will weaken you or lessen your defense.
Right. They come in. They come
Yes, sir.
in because like I said, your hedge is down.
Yes, sir.
The hedge is down. When the hedge down, that's when they come in. But like I was saying, imagine somebody don't know none of this. They thinking it's part of who they are. It's not a part of you. Okay. So like I was saying, the creator when the book of Enoch says that That spirit, when the angel slept with the woman, that's a perverse spirit. That spirit that's in that giant is a perverse spirit. So he come with him, he imposing that on you. And you thinking that you perverse. No, you ain't perverse. That's a wicked ass spirit, perverse wicked ass spirit in you that's coming at you like that. You ain't perverse. And you gotta cast him off. You know what I'm saying? If you jump in a pond and then you get out the pond and you got leeches on to attach themselves on your arm, what you gonna do? You gonna knock them off.
Yes, sir.
Same
Get them
thing,
off back
same thing with
in.
that. Yeah, same thing with that. That's what that is. They perverse. You ain't perverse. They done entered into you, and you lacking the understanding of what's going on. You thinking it's you. It ain't none of you. That's how that works.
I always say when you know better, you do better, and we serve an all-knowing God. We cannot forget that, right? So even you see that you're studying, you're applying yourself, you know, you're in the scriptures and all of that, right? So
Right,
he's gonna also protect you from the things that you don't know about. He's going to
right,
also protect you from wicked spirits. But if your heart is not right in the right place, they're going to
right,
continue to torment you. Um,
right,
Sister Sure, it's a deep conversation because I have come a very long ways in, sharing information about different things. I think it's very important, especially amongst women, like Brother Leonard said, because it's the women that the wicked angels, unclean spirits, whatever you want to call them, demons that is attacking us because of our emotions, because they know that we are, emotional creatures, and, our emotions just start running all over the place, and we take everything wrong, and, you know, all of that, so we especially have to be very, very careful. And I'm not perfect at anything. I'm working hard at it every day, and I continue to work hard at it every day. But now that I know better, I do better.
right,
Yeah.
right. So I was talking earlier about sinning. When you sin, your heads go down, right?
Yes, you were.
Yes.
So you're vulnerable when you sinning. That's allowing them in. So let's go to the curses. The first 15 verses is if you're doing good, you protected. But look what happened when the consequence of disobedience. But it shall come to pass if thou shalt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God to observe and do his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses. So go back to what made me and what he said we read last night when he said put the lamb on the doorpost. And then those wicked spirits came, but the ones they under commandment of the Lord of hosts. When they saw that the blood was on the doorpost, they couldn't go in that house. So look here, 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city. Cursed shall thou be in the field. Cursed shall thou be in thy basket in thy store. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land and the increase of thy king and the flocks of thy sheep. Cursed shall thou be when thou cometh in. Cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. Here you go right here, 20. And the Lord, see that? The Lord shall send upon thee vexations, rebuke, and all that thou settest thy hand unto do until thou be destroyed and until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doing whereby thou hast forsaken me. So when he says that he's going to sit upon these vexations and all that, who we talking about? These wicked spirits. He sent them. The sickness. And then over here, you go 27. And the Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt and with the emerods and with the scab and with the itch, wherefore thou cannot not be healed. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. That's these wicked spirits. He controlling them. How we know that? Because of what we saw, what we just read in Jubilees about Enoch, about what happened in Egypt. He sent wicked spirits And then he put blood on the doorpost and told him, if you see the blood on this doorpost, you can't go in that house. So it's the same thing right here with the curses. And with the heads. You allow your heads to go down, this is coming in. That's what he told Cain. Sin lies at the door. Come on.
Shalom. Yes, because I brought all this up because the young lady was talking about the devil and how we have to fight it. Yeah. So when she was speaking on that part, you know, the devil using that title is more than just using that title, because we have to know about these different kinds of spirits that can enter into us even when we are trying our best to do the right thing. They will come around, just like you said, a cat comes at the door when you're trying to keep the Lord of hosts. You're learning the Lord of hosts. You're knowing that you are of him, you belong to him, and then
Yeah.
here's those things to come and, like you said, entice and stuff. Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah. So you over here in America. So whatever's available, that's what comes to the door. I said a cat because we over here. If you're in Africa, it might be a baboon because that's the ability that they have. But anyway, let me deal with this right quick. 36, Ezekiel 36. Okay. Ezekiel 36, 25 and 28. Let me see what's going on. Okay. Okay, it says, then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness and all your and from all your idols, or will I cleanse you? And a new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put it in you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh, and I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and you shall keep my judgments, and you shall do them. Okay, 28, right? And ye shall dwell in the land that I gave unto your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I shall be your God. Right, exactly. So that's what Zechariah is talking about. Let's go there right quick. Zechariah 12. Zechariah 12 says, this is a future deliverance of Israel, right? We get down to verse 7. The Lord also shall say the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem shall do not magnify themselves against you. In that day, same day I just read in Ezekiel, in that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them in that day shall be as David, and the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord. So they got bodies like the angels. But us that's alive, we're going to be like David. David is a mighty man. So it's a transformation that takes place. Okay. Appreciate them verses, brother. Okay. Anybody else got anything on that? Okay, let's go to the next video. Let me see. Yeah, there it is.
Country offered to give $1 billion to help Black Americans economically, and that an African country offered to give $1 billion to help Black Americans economically and politically, and the US government denied that gift. A lot of you might already know this story, but it was new information to me, so I'm assuming some people don't know about this history, and it's important that we talk about it. According to LA Times, the federal government of the US denied the Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan permission to accept a promised $1 billion gift.
So somebody else trying to give us some money, they wouldn't let us get it. So you think they finna give us something?
From Libya Black Americans economically and politically. According to the same report, Farrakhan applied to the Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control, asking that he be granted an exemption from the sanctions to permit acceptance of $1 billion pledged by Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi during a visit Farrakhan made to Libya. The Treasury Department denied that request in a message to Farrakhan's lawyers in Chicago, asserting the continuing need of the United States to enforce its policy of isolating Libya. Denying $1 billion, which is a gift meant for Black Americans from an African country, is insane. But it did happen. And according to US spokesman then, Glenn Davis, he said, quote, obviously Gaddafi has an interest in gaining a foothold here in the US in some fashion. And of course, that kind of talk is not something that we view positively at all, end quote. So basically the reasoning the US government gave is that Gaddafi is doing it because he has an interest, and we don't want to allow that, even though this money would have changed people's lives greatly and brought about so much positivity to the Black American community. The US government said no.
Okay, anybody heard of that before?
Shalom, no sir. But the way she's saying it, they can't tax a gift, so that's something that they would probably say no to in the first place, because they can't tax a gift and put tax on it.
Okay. Anybody else? Yeah. So I mean, the crazy part about that is, well, look what you're doing with Elon Musk right now. It's saying that because Gaddafi wanted to get him $1 billion, he had some kind of hidden agenda. Well, what do Elon Musk got? What he doing right now? Him and the other guy, they billionaires. Come on, it's crazy. You get something?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here we go. I don't know if anybody heard anything about this. Let me play it. Okay. Okay.
There's also a podcast from Gary Hunter. What do we do? What do we do? As yesterday, I didn't get to really talk extensively about this nurse, and I didn't want to leave it to the end of the show because it's infuriating to know that there is this much blind hatred, because it's not informed hatred. You know, it's one thing if somebody did something to you and you hate them. You know, that's informed. You did something, you touched my mama, you did, I'ma hate you till the day you die. The story of Africa. Hell with you. That actually is reasonable. But this blind hatred of a baby or of a group of people, so you're gonna take it out on a baby because you are that person? Like I don't have it in me. So I don't understand it. I can't relate to it, but I know it makes me angry where I could probably have feelings towards this person that's not blind. Her name is Erin Stratman, and I normally don't evoke the names of horrible people because as long as you say their names, they stay alive. But I kind of want her to live and go to jail. I want her to be in jail a long time, in the same jail with a whole lot of black mamas. I do. I want that for her.
Anybody heard anything about that? The nurse that broke the little baby, black baby's legs and stuff?
No, sir.
I
How long
did.
ago was this?
Yes,
What'd you
sir.
say?
I did. I did. Yes, sir.
Is there some? You probably know
for her. I want that. I want her to live. I want her to live to be 100. She's 26. Erin Elizabeth Ann Stratman. She's from Chesterfield County, Virginia. I don't know if any of you are from that area, Chesterfield County, Virginia. She's been charged with malicious wounding and felony child abuse. Let me get more into the story, but with the Tizzy ENT, he's been on the show before. He does a lot of these comments on social media where he brings forth stories that people should know.
Right.
I'm gonna play a clip from his TikTok, and then I'm gonna get into it. And I'm gonna give out the number, 866-801-8255. If you have insight, wisdom, or strategy, let's hear from it. Let's hear from you today. All right, so let's play the clip.
She wasn't family like the other NICU nurses were.
He's describing 26-year-old Erin Stratman, the nurse now in jail, charged with felony child neglect and felony malicious wounding.
Wow, those charges sound bad. It is about a nurse in Virginia breaking the bones of babies in a NICU. The most vulnerable, defenseless human beings on the planet, allegedly breaking their bones. Around the end of November 2024, staff members discovered that 3 babies at Henrico Doctors Hospital NICU had unexplainable fractures, similar to an incident involving 4 babies in the summer of 2023. So 3 babies in November of this year, but 4 babies back in 2023. And as part of this story, they announced that they're reopening the investigation in those babies from 2023. Why were those investigations closed? You closed them not knowing how those babies got injured? Like 4 babies with broken bones in your NICU is a lot. Why would you close the investigation if you had no idea what happened? Well, the reality is they did have an idea what happened.
Stratman was put on paid administrative leave by the hospital for a year after the 2023 cases of NICU abuse came to light, and then was allowed to return in late 2024.
They suspended her for a year with pay. And miraculously, during that year, no babies with broken bones. And then after a year of paying her to sit at home, after clearly suspecting her of being responsible for harming those first 4 children, they brought her back. And what happened? She immediately started breaking babies' bones. Also, I don't know the identity of all the babies involved, but so far the babies that we know about are all Black.
Okay. What you think? Is that crazy or what?
It is, and I was waiting for him to add that part, said that they were all Black because they were. So my thing is, after reading about the story, they only charged her at first with only one, right? So again, I think a lot when I listen to stuff like this. You can put cameras everywhere else, but even after they knew what happened to those babies in 2023, they didn't place any cameras in there. They didn't investigate it anymore. They just closed the case.
Right.
Exactly. And brought her back, and she did it again because she felt as though she got away with it the first time. I'll do it again. First of all, it's hard enough for Black mothers to leave their babies behind in the NICU because they're preemie babies and things like that. So you're trusting the staff that is there. So the gentleman, I did watch that video saying that, she didn't seem like family, like a caring nurse. She seemed that's a red flag.
Right. Bad spirit on it.
Right. Exactly. And I don't know if you guys have seen a picture of her, but you could tell she come from a very evil lineage.
Right. Inbred.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
when I saw that just really that made my blood boil. But we don't have to worry about because they're gonna take care of her. They probably taking care of her right now because she's still locked up. So she gonna get what's due to her.
Exactly. Right. That's what I was saying about that's the lack of knowledge and understanding. We keep going to these people for answers, and they nut buckets. Like I said, instead of going to the Pharaoh to release them when all they gotta do is go to the Creator. Because the Lord holds them, he gonna deliver them. It's like right now, our predicament we in right now, all we gotta do is turn back to him. We'll get delivered.
Yes,
Can't
sir.
nobody else deliver us.
And I
Okay?
thought about if it was those little pale face babies' bones being broken, they would
Mm.
not have closed not one case.
Oh yeah, they cut her head off.
Yeah, they would have got to the bottom of that.
Right,
But because it was us melanated babies, they
right,
just thought that it was going to be swept under the rug.
right. Exactly.
And
Yeah,
she
and
admitted it and said that they kept her on. You know, after the hospital tried to say that they fired her in 2023.
exactly.
And she said no, that they kept her on.
Is this song?
A boastful, wicked spirit.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Exactly. Oh yeah. And we just elected a boastful, wicked ass spirit. So that's what she looked like. Yeah. Come on.
Oh,
Like I said, he tells you right then when Jacob and Esau was born that what Esau looked like. That's a wicked ass spirit.
yes.
Come on. Check this out.
Everybody, a very happy holiday season and a wonderful new year. As we come to the end of 2024, it might be helpful to take a hard look at where we are as a nation and how we can best go forward. And let me be honest with you in saying that we are in an extraordinarily pivotal and volatile moment in American history, and things are moving very, very rapidly. The most important point that I want to stress today is how fast our country is evolving into an oligarchic society and into two very different Americas. On one hand, we have an America that consists of less than 1,000 billionaires, not a whole lot of people in a nation of 340 million, who have an unprecedented amount of wealth and power and have never, ever had it so good.
Okay. It's a song.
America. The other America, where the vast majority of our people live, consists of tens of millions of families who are struggling to put food on the table, pay their bills, and worry that their kids will have a lower standard of living than they do. In the first America, the uber wealthy buy $500 million yachts, $270 million mansions. They have private islands all to themselves. They got fleets of jets that take them all over the world. And occasionally they take cool trips on rocket ships that blast off to the edge of outer space. A lot of fun. They also receive the best health care money can buy, and they send their kids to the very best private schools and colleges in the world. In this America, the three wealthiest men, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Mark Zuckerberg, own more wealth than the bottom half of our society. Three people own more wealth than the bottom half of our society. And their wealth is skyrocketing. Musk alone is now worth over $450 billion. And combined, these three men are now worth almost $1 trillion. In the other America, millions of Americans are struggling just to provide for the basic necessities of life. In this America, over 60% of our people live paycheck to paycheck. Millions work for starvation wages. 85 million are uninsured or underinsured, and over 60,000 die each year because they can't afford to go to a doctor on time. In other words, we are living in a nation today where a handful of billionaires have more money than they could spend in 1,000 lifetimes, while at the same time, millions are living in desperation, fear, and are struggling to survive. But let's be clear. Our country is not just experiencing an unprecedented level of income and wealth inequality. Today, the ruling elite have brought about a situation in which we now have more concentration of ownership than we have ever had before. In other words, a small number of giant corporations have enormous control over our economy in sector after sector: healthcare, agriculture, financial services, energy, transportation, you name it. A small number of giant conglomerates control what is produced and how much we as consumers pay for their products. Unbelievably, just 3 Wall Street firms, BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street, control assets of more than $22 trillion. These 3 Wall Street firms are the major shareholders in 95% of S&P 500 companies, exerting enormous control of the largest corporations in the world. 3 Wall Street firms, unbelievable power. And that is not all in terms of what's going on today. It's not just the billionaire ownership and control over the economy and the media that should concern us. The uber rich are also buying our government. They are buying our government and undermining American democracy. Never before in our history have we seen a ruling class with so much political power. As a result of the disastrous Citizens United Supreme Court decision, billionaires and their super PACs can spend unlimited sums of money on political campaigns. And that is exactly what they're doing. You get 1 vote. They get to spend unlimited amounts of money. During the 2024 election cycle, just 150 billionaires, 150 people, spent nearly $2 billion to buy politicians who support their agenda and to defeat candidates who oppose their special interests. Billionaires who represent just 0.0005% of our population accounted for 18% of total campaign spending. My friends, that is not democracy. That is not 1 person, 1 vote. That is not what this country is supposed to stand for. In his Gettysburg Address in 1863, President Abraham Lincoln spoke about, quote, a government of the people, by the people, for the people, end quote. Well, sadly today, we have a government of the billionaire class, by the billionaire class, for the billionaire class. We are in a pivotal and unprecedented moment in American history. That's the simple reality. Either we fight aggressively all over this country to create a government and an economy that works for all of us, or we will continue to move rapidly down the path of oligarchy and the rule of the super rich. The choice is clear. We must stand together for democracy and justice. Let's do it. Thank you all very much.
Okay, any comments on that?
Shalom. Hearing that, it was more addressed to whom? What class of people? What lower class, the middle class? What class of people that he was really aiming that to? And when he placed all in it, because at one point this still was happening. Wasn't happening at a very high level, but when it started touching, I guess, in the backyard of others, then they want uniting to happen to get the rich, and not the rich was not just back in the day. There were more of the less melanated people, but now that it is mangled in, it's a problem, because even though we all pitch in, all is not going to get treated the same, because they're still going to be the lower class people. To fight with them will not get the effect of what the outcome going to be if it weighs in their favor.
Right. The title of the video is The American Proof Issues, which is Bernie Sanders, a bone-chilling warning to Black Americans. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Play this right here and we'll close out.
And welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's as fascinating as it is important. Why is African American DNA so unique? This isn't just about ancestry or heritage. It's about understanding the incredible diversity, resilience, and stories hidden within our genes. DNA is more than just a biological blueprint. It's a living record of history, migration, survival, and transformation. When we talk about African American DNA, we're talking about one of the most complex and remarkable genetic stories on the planet. Here's the deal: African American DNA is unique because of its roots in Africa, the most genetically diverse continent on Earth. But that's just the beginning. The transatlantic slave trade, centuries of migration, and the blending of African, European, and even Native American ancestries have all shaped what we see today. It's a story of survival and adaptation, written into the genetic code of millions of African Americans. Why does this matter? For one, understanding this diversity helps researchers make breakthroughs in medicine, identify genetic markers, and address health disparities. But it's also about identity. Understanding where we come from helps us understand who we are today. In this video, we'll explore everything from the genetic richness of Africa to how history shaped African American DNA. We'll look at the scientific, cultural, and historical factors that make this topic so fascinating. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll see DNA in a whole new light. So buckle up and get ready to explore one of the most incredible stories ever written, the story of African American DNA. And hey, before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. We've got a lot of exciting content coming your way, and you won't want to miss it. To understand the uniqueness of African American DNA, we have to start at the source, Africa. Often called the cradle of humanity, Africa is where modern humans first emerged more than 200,000
not America.
years ago. But here's what makes Africa truly remarkable. It's not just the birthplace of humanity, it's the most genetically diverse continent on the planet. Think of it like this: if you were to analyze the DNA of two people from different parts of Africa, you might find more genetic differences between them than you would between a European and an Asian person. That's how vast Africa's genetic diversity is. This diversity is the result of hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, environmental adaptations, and cultural practices. For African Americans, most ancestral roots trace back to West and Central Africa, regions home to a rich variety of ethnic groups, languages, and genetic traits. From the Yoruba and Igbo in Nigeria to the Akan in Ghana, these groups contributed to the rich genetic pool that African Americans inherit today. But African American DNA isn't just about African ancestry. It's a blend, a mosaic that also includes European and, in some cases, Native American genes. This blending happened over centuries, starting during the transatlantic slave trade when Africans were forcibly brought to the Americas. The result is a unique genetic profile that reflects both the diversity of Africa and the complexities of American history.
Selling your investment property, but don't want to get stuck.
Is this diversity important? For one, it helps scientists understand human evolution. The genetic markers found in African American DNA often hold clues about how humans adapted to different environments, resisted diseases, and thrived under challenging conditions. For example, traits like resistance to malaria or adaptations to tropical climates are still present in African-descended populations. But it's not just about science, it's about identity. Understanding this diversity allows African Americans to connect with their heritage and appreciate the incredible richness of their ancestry. It's a reminder that DNA isn't just about biology, it's about history, culture, and resilience. No discussion of African American DNA would be complete without addressing the transatlantic slave trade. This dark chapter of history profoundly shaped African American genetics, leaving a legacy that's still evident today. Between the 16th and 19th centuries, millions of Africans were forcibly taken from their homelands and brought to the Americas. The journey, known as the Middle Passage, was brutal.
No, we came from America.
Many didn't survive, and those who did often faced unimaginable hardships. But this wasn't just a human tragedy, it also created what scientists call a genetic bottleneck. Let me explain. A genetic bottleneck happens when a large population is reduced to a smaller group, limiting genetic diversity. Imagine pouring a jar of marbles through a
And that what the Lord of hosts told us not to do.
Small funnel. Only a fraction makes it through, and the rest is lost. That's what happened during the transatlantic slave trade. The genetic diversity of millions of Africans was filtered through the traumatic experience of slavery, leaving a smaller pool of genes that would shape future generations.
A remnant.
But even within this tragedy, there's a story of resilience. Enslaved Africans brought with them not just their genes, but also their cultures, languages, and traditions. Over time, these elements blended with those of European colonizers and Native Americans, creating a unique genetic and cultural identity. For example, DNA testing often reveals that African Americans have about 70 to 80% African ancestry, with the remaining percentage coming from European and Native American sources. This admixture wasn't always consensual. Enslavement often involved exploitation and violence, but it left a lasting imprint on African American DNA. Today, this complex ancestry is a source of both scientific interest and personal discovery. Genetic testing companies like 23andMe or Ancestry DNA often highlight the diverse roots of African Americans, tracing connections to specific regions in Africa and beyond. For many, this process is a way to reclaim a history that was forcibly taken. The transatlantic slave trade was a tragedy of unimaginable scale, but the genetic legacy it left behind is a testament to human resilience. It's a reminder that even in the face of oppression, the human spirit and the human genome can endure. African American DNA is not just unique because of its African roots or historical mixing, it's also incredibly diverse within the population itself. This diversity reflects centuries of movement, adaptation, and intermixing, creating a genetic profile unlike any other. Let's break it down. African Americans don't trace their lineage to a single part of Africa. Instead, their ancestry spans multiple regions, primarily West and Central Africa. Groups like the Yoruba in Nigeria, the Akan in Ghana, and the Congo peoples in Angola all contributed to the genetic makeup of African Americans. Diseases develop.
No offense, but if you still think that
and how treatments can be tailored to diverse populations. Despite their contributions, African Americans remain underrepresented in genetic studies, a gap that needs to be addressed to ensure equitable scientific progress. One of the most significant contributions from African-descended populations is the study of genetic variations that influence disease resistance. For example, sickle cell research has not only deepened our understanding of malaria resistance, but also paved the way for therapies targeting genetic blood disorders.
Similarly, studies involving African American participants have helped identify genetic markers related to conditions like heart disease and type 2 diabetes, which disproportionately affect African American communities. Another area where African American DNA has been instrumental is cancer research. African Americans have been central to studies on prostate cancer, which affects this group at higher rates than other populations. Researchers have.
Is that not the curses?
Sound like it, sir.
Yes,
Is that,
sir.
is there something?
Identified genetic variants that increase risk, allowing for better screening and potential early interventions. Likewise, African American participation in breast cancer studies has revealed unique genetic mutations, such as BRCA1 and BRCA2, helping scientists understand how these genes function across different populations. But it's not just about disease. African American DNA has also contributed to our understanding of human evolution. By studying African descended populations, researchers have gained insights into ancient migration patterns, how humans adapted to various climates, and the genetic basis of traits like skin color, height, and metabolic efficiency.
So I have a question. So who's carrying the Israelite DNA? Who's carrying the DNA of the Israelite?
Women, Black American women.
The man.
The man.
Israelite man.
Because of this.
So if an Israelite woman got on the boat, which is what happened, yeah, thousands and thousands and millions of Israelite women got on the boat, and these European nut buckets that was on the boat raped them. Is that an Israelite man? Is that an Israelite? The baby? Is the
No,
baby
sir.
Israelite?
No, sir.
So the Most High, when you understand what's going on, he said that he told them curses that the man was gonna the other nation was gonna rape their women, and he wasn't gonna be able to have nothing to do with it, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
So he got the Israelite man DNA locked up. He ain't have no sex. He getting hell beat out of him. He ain't have no sex. Okay, so no Israelites. All that interaction, the Israelite DNA, the male got it. Let that from me. Okay, that's how you get the remnant. Okay. Anybody else have any questions on that? Comments? I'll open it up for some Q&A. Anybody have anything they want to talk about? We got about 20 minutes. Anything you want to talk about, or something you want to bring up, or chop up, whatever you want to. Got something?
Shalom.
Okay.
I'll just go back to this last video when it talked about the black DNA and how
Okay.
the one that Sister Michelle talked about, the Anne Elizabeth Stratton breaking the baby bones, the African American baby bones. Well, back, I guess it was in the late 90s when a lot of the young black football player boys were being abducted and they were taking their spleens, taking things from the black. When they found them, they were, parts of them were missing.
Right.
So they have been throughout time trying to get our um, our body parts to mimic or to give to someone who's paid all these billions of dollars to have it.
Right.
Take our hearts, take whatever they want out of the body. So it's
Right.
they've always done it because they want to try to replicate what we have been given naturally. And again, when they talk about the breast cancer and getting the BRC1 and 2 from DNA from the black woman to see what's going on with this breast cancer. Here lately, they have been diagnosing mainly the black women with dense breasts. And in that, when you ask what is a dense breast, they just say culturally that's found in black women. But they have not said that in earlier times if it was culturally, but now they're saying it when you go and get a mammogram. It's, you know, and they say you, when you say everything all right and you go back to your doctor, or even you get the paper, it's found that you have dense breasts where you need to follow up and see if anything else is going on with you, not automatically is there any cancer and anything going on. They just call it dense breast. Shalom.
Right. So when you look at that, like I said, it's all about DNA. It's all about the Most High's creation. So he put Adam to sleep, and he took the real Adam out, right?
Yes, sir.
And he made woman. So who DNA did she have?
Adam.
There you go. So it all goes back to that male, the male. So a prime example. I know I'm quite sure everybody on here that saw the movie Get Out, right?
Yes, sir.
Who
Yes,
was
sir.
who was them girls? Who was those white girls going in pursuit?
The black male.
The black man.
Black males bringing them back to the house. Not no females. They bring black males back to the house. Once they got them there, they did an auction, and then they transferred that male's DNA, his soul, where they suppressed the soul through psychosis. That's what the mama was there for. She put the she sent the soul to a dark place, but she got the DNA and the organs that the creator had made from that black man. But she wasn't abducting no black women. She abducted black men. And just like what we just said, the black boys, they getting their DNA. And so even with the lady, when you go back to where they made all these medicines from this lady, I can't think of her name. There's a black lady that got all this DNA from, and they used her DNA and they used it for a lot of the medicines that we got today. So, like I was saying, that's all came from Adam. When he put Adam on the ground, he formed Adam. Like I say, they trying all they can to try to. A computer ain't nothing but them trying to reconstruct the human mind, which is the mind that he gave Adam when he formed Adam. They're using computers, robots, and all that, trying to duplicate that, but they can't duplicate it. That's where all that's coming from. It all goes back to Adam. When he formed Adam on the ground and everything he done with Adam, the mind that he gave Adam, the pineal gland, all that. Then he came, put him to sleep, and he took Adam's DNA and made the woman. Okay.
Yes, sir. And Shalom, the what we talked about earlier, the boastful wicked spirit, they'll make these movies just to show you
Oh
what they're
yeah.
doing, and you think it's just a movie, but they're doing it live in real
Exactly.
time.
Exactly. Right. And like I said, if you go, well, I read it all the time. If you go to the book of Adam and Eve, you see those wicked spirits was dealing with them. When you go Adam, Jared, which was Enoch's father, they was it was in a different place, separated from those people. Those wicked spirits was down there amongst those Gentiles. It wasn't up there with Adam's descendants. It's after they came down off of the mountain and came down there and intermingled with them. That's when the wicked spirits became prevalent in dealing with Israel. It wasn't because, like I said, Seth had learned from Adam, from all the things that happened to Adam. Seth had learned how to excuse evil. That's how Enoch learned it. They excused evil. They wasn't dealing with no evil, but the wicked spirits was running prevalent all over the place with the Gentile. It's like I said, that's what he told. Michael told Cain when they came to make their offerings. He says, "Why your countenance? Why you didn't disassemble? Why your countenance changed? Don't you know that wickedness is at the door?" Right. So that's what that is. We really came amongst these people where all these wicked spirits at, and then now we starting to claim shit that's part of our DNA, but it ain't. It's part of their DNA, and we claiming it. So that's like I said, that's another way of like I said, when you don't supposed to eat pork and you eating pork, that's a door you opening up. So when you claim some shit, then you opening the door up. You allowing these wicked ass spirits to come in, because you claiming it. Okay. Anybody got anything else before we go?
Yes, sir. Shalom. One thing. Last night when I was reading out of the first and second book of Adam and Eve, and how the the devil, the Lucifer, that angel had come to Adam and Eve when they were harvesting their crop, and well, it was, I guess it was Samuel, and he told the other one of his angels to go burn up their crop and take their water, and then he'll transform himself to a good angel look,
Right.
and lead them into the wilderness and kill them.
Right.
So he did, and then the Lord of hosts woke them up and told them that that wasn't him, because Adam said, "Why did you do this, that, and that?"
Right.
And he said that it wasn't him, that he would um, banish that angel, and for them to to go. And so last night I was sleeping. I had a dream. I dreamed these two white guys came into my house where I was living, and I was I was saying, "Who are you? Well, get out of here!" And they went into my refrigerator, and then they came and they went into my room and on my dresser, and then I could see them so clearly, and they weren't, and I was saying things to them, and they wasn't hearing me, but
Right.
when one of them came by and put his hand up, I at first had a down feeling, like you talked about, like something holding you down. And I
Right.
was trying to say something and I couldn't. But
Right.
when I could, I said, "Get out of here. Who are you? Get out." And
Right.
immediately I woke up and I could hear myself saying it, and it just was loud because I was
Right.
screaming it.
Exactly.
And it was just an example, and the confirmation here tonight,
Right.
that's what
Exactly.
happened. That wicked spirit, when I was trying to learn more and more, was trying to you know um get me away from it by
Right.
trying to come into a dream, and get me to go along with whatever, because I don't know what he was getting ready to do
Right.
with his
Exactly.
hand.
Right. And so the thing about that is, what you have to understand is, they've been doing that. They've been doing
Yes,
that. Like I
sir.
said, when you go to sleep, they've been doing that. So guess what? A Lord of hosts, the angels woke you up.
Yes,
Woke
sir.
you up. And said then out of normally when you wouldn't have woke up. Now you woke up, now you see. So the thing is, they don't want you to talk. That's why you can't talk. They don't want you to speak. Because when you have the right knowledge, you're gonna run them off. So they trying to hold you as much long as they can, but they can't. So then when you wake up, as soon as you speak, they know they got to go, because
Yes, sir.
you in charge. They're not in charge. You in charge.
Yes, sir.
So that's
Because
what it is.
it was so heavy laden. I was trying to say and I couldn't say. And then when he came over, I was able to scream it out, yell it out, and I
Yeah.
saw it's like it just went. It was like just black. I mean, it was black.
Once you
It
open
went.
your eyes,
Yes,
once
sir.
you open your eyes up, like I say, when you go to sleep, you and especially you're not aware of all this information. When you go to sleep, you vulnerable because you sleep. You're not your eyes ain't open. You don't have the mind and the spirit that the Most High gave you. You sleep. So that's when you're being manipulated while you sleep.
Yes,
So
sir.
they don't want you to wake up, especially once you get the understanding of what's going on. They don't want you to wake up because you're gonna cast them out as soon as you wake up. You're gonna run them off. And that's what that
Yep.
is. So yeah,
And that felt so good because I knew that it was something bad,
right. So,
and I felt the Lord of hosts when he woke me up because it was a scream out loud and I saw the
right,
black just go.
right,
Yes,
right,
sir.
right. And like I said, you ain't by yourself. They running for a reason because you ain't by yourself. You
All
being
praise.
protected. So that's why they got to go. They got to get. That's how that works. Yeah. Ain't that something?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Anybody else got anything before we go?
No, sir.
Well, yeah, that's how the creator work. He gonna, like I said, uh he gonna bring you what you need, what you gotta hear. He got all that in place. He's gonna bring it right to you. That's how you can. It's when you see him at work and then you don't deal with it. That's where the drama come in at. As long as you stay on point and he's gonna whatever it is that happens, he's gonna bring the knowledge to you one way or another through somebody or through YouTube, all that. You're gonna get the knowledge of it. It's on you whether you are only you know whether it's the truth or not. Okay, that's how that works.
Yes, sir.
Right. Anybody else got anything before we go? Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna say shalom, shalom, shalom. I see we got our men's advanced Bible study tomorrow. Women can come through YouTube. I see everybody tomorrow. Shalom.
Shalom.
Fine.
Shalom, everyone.
I highly recommend that you get this book and you read it because it's a must that you understand who God head is in the order that's in the Old Testament and Tanakh, because it's not the same as in the New Testament. And when you read this and you get an understanding, then the scriptures open up and then you begin to understand. So I highly recommend that you get this book. It's the Elohim of Israel, and it's a breakdown on the word Elohim and who the God of Israel is and the Godhead.